Hey everybody, Jeannie the Casual Mystic here. So, I was kind of thinking a lot today about 6 planets being in retrograde and how rare that is. And what does that mean for us at this time? Now, I've looked into astrology and, I'm no expert and I haven't been doing that very long. So, I just kind of took some notes and looked at each one and it was kind of interesting. Um, So all but 2 planets are in retrograde. Doesn't that sound crazy? Here's something else that I found interesting. Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto are in retrograde in Capricorn. Note also, coming up full moon on July 5th is in Capricorn. So we have Pluto in Capricorn from the 25th of April till October 4th. And what that kind of means is it's transformation, um, transformative energy, time to get honest with ourselves, psychological inner workings. Now, Pluto has a tendency to want you to put things aside, hide it in the dark. When it's in retrograde, it wants to put a light on things that have been held in the darkness, bring them out and shed light on them so positive changes can occur. So that was interesting. Venus is ending on the 25th. It's been in retrograde since May 13th, and it's in Gemini. And we've talked a lot about relationships and partnerships and stuff. So this is the planet of love and affection, relationship woes, breakups. Communication is key. Love and money can be super intense. You want to rethink, reassess your relationships. But you need to get behind self-love is the biggest thing I got from it. It was the first time in 2 years, and it always comes the closest to the sun than the other in retrograde. Venus is about to step out here soon, so if your relationships are in good order, you've pretty much survived that retrograde real close here. Neptune just came in. It's in Pisces. Now, Neptune is dreams, wishes, illusions, higher realms, consciousness, unconditional love. Retrograde, things that are unseen, something in your mind's eye. It breaks your illusions, get back to reality. What can you do to start living your most beautiful life is what Mercury retrograde wants you to learn. We all know Mercury, so I'm not going to delve into that. We did a reading on that. So then we have Jupiter in Capricorn, May 14th to September 12th. And Jupiter's evolve and grow. So right now, how can we be less selfish? Jupiter in retrograde can bestow good fortune. It's one of the most positive planets. And then we have Saturn, May 11th to the 29th. Now it's in Aquarius, but it goes, during its retrograde, its time, it goes into Capricorn. So this deals with the past, present, and future, as well as lessons learned, comforts of home. Home is very Capricorn. Planet of tough love, construction of time. Are we working on our soul lessons? So I was kind of looking at this today, and I was like, this is really interesting because it talks about going within, looking at your life, looking at your relationships, evolving, growing, lessons learned, the unseen stuff in your mind's eye, breaking your illusions, doing what it can to bring about what is living your most beautiful life. And then there's also the bringing things out into the light that you've maybe pushed under the rock, pushed aside, and get honest with yourself. And then, of course, Venus, love and affection. And we talked a lot about partnerships. So I was like, that's really cool. It feels very in line. And then I went on a YouTube channel just to see what astrologers were saying because I love astrology and I've studied some, but I don't get all the conjunctions and the square root, and I'm not real you know, perverse at it. So then I'm listening to a few different ones just to see. And, one that really got me is, this guy, he's been doing it a long time. And he's saying that July 12th to the 14th could be very big, earthquake, volcano-like. And then he talks about sudden developments and aggressions on the third week of August. He talks about a global recession lasting a year, year and a half, big developments coming soon, your equity in your home will go negative, bad stock market, and everything just seemed really negative. And I'm not saying it's not true, but I tend to try to focus more on the positive, and I was really perplexed by it, so I decided to do a reading that I've done here. And so I'm going to go over the reading, but I'd love to know what you guys think of this, 6-planet retrograde, and, what's come to you. I mean, I know we're all going through a pandemic, and it's kind of like a freaking Twilight Zone sometimes with all the stuff that it's brought and everything. So I'm not going to get into that, but every time I've ever read lately, it seems about partnerships, relationships, self-love, looking into yourself, finding what you want, reevaluating what you want, that kind of thing. So I went ahead and pulled some cards. So we have the Queen of Wands. So wands are all internal stuff, your energy, your spirituality, your inspiration, your intuition, your creativity. And the Queen, she's kind of the party person, she's confident, she's determined, she's courage, she's like social. So I was like, oh, okay. And then got the Page of the Page of Cups, excuse me. And she is dreamy and mystical. She's looking for her cup to be filled. Intuitive messages, possibilities, curiosity. So I see us, we're coming out of the pandemic or what have you, a lockup, whatever. And I see us wanting to be social and, party a little. And you see the Page of Cups. She wants to fill her cup. She's mystical and dreamy, and she, is looking at the curiosities and possibilities of what her life is after. And then I got the Moon, and it can be illusions, deception, perception, mystery. So I kind of hear when I see this, because 1, 2, 3, I'm looking at it and I'm trying to put it together as we go to see what this is trying to tell us. And it can also be a time of new perception, to look at things differently. Then we got the Seven of Pentacles. So Pentacles is your physical, finances, work, health, outside situations. And the Seven of Pentacles is your long-term view, sustainability. So to me, I see, you're come out, you're having a good time, you're looking to, fulfill your life again. But the Moon's saying, wait, you need balance. Stop for a minute. And the Pentacles is saying you need, these things are great, and we don't want to turn this into a negative, because I think we all need a little bit of that for mental stability. But we need to think about the long-term view. And once again, with Pluto, and I'm no astrologist in putting cards and astrology together. I love doing it. I love looking at it, but I don't do a lot of videos on it and talk about it because I don't feel an expert at it. But I really do believe that it's saying we need to look at the long-term view of what we've just been through, and also look at what you want. And there's things that are going to come up that you may have put aside, that you didn't deal with, whatever that is for you. And then I got the Eight of Swords here, which is negative thoughts, self-imposement, restriction. So, because maybe we've been kind of in a lockup thing going on, you know, you start getting negative thoughts because it's really hard sometimes for us at this point to think about our long-term goals and our sustainability. But life is changing all the time, and now we have this big change. What do you want to do in the long term to be sustainable? You know, you have to have balance, you know. And then the temperance came in, and it is moderation, patience, and integration. So I think you need to integrate. So at the end, it's telling you need to integrate these things. The moon's saying you need to balance, you know, the carefree, the social, trying to fill your cup up. But you still have to have that balance of reality and patience and, excuse me, long-term views, sustainability. What do you want that beautiful life of yours to be? You know, we all want to move away from this, and we all want to enjoy life, but we have to stay reality-based as well as fantasy-based, is kind of what I'm seeing and feeling. And I don't see, you know, what these cards didn't bring to me, the tower with, you know, the stock market and a global, you know, fall for the next year and a half and this. And maybe it's just my energy. I don't go negative. Negative's so easy to go to. I don't know. So then I went and I pulled 2 oracles. So the first one was hidden blessings. And I think that if we, because I asked how to help with the reading, I think with the hidden blessings, I think that we're going to, when we get that balance and we have that patience and we are social, but we're remembering we need to look at our long-term sustainable goals. What do we want this beautiful life of ours to be? We're going to find there's blessings in that if we can do that. And then the many hands of the goddess. This is the Kuan Yin Oracle, and she's basically said, I'm going to go back to it here, that, you know, you work on your fun, but you work on yourself. And so what Kuan Yin is saying is sometimes you need to take a step back and rest and then return to something. And that's what it is. You need to use your intuition. You can let things sit and you will help manifest. Worrying too much is not a good thing. Don't, you know, having too much on your plate. So you need to still, you know, always with the retrograde, rest and reevaluate. So I was really concerned, I guess, when I saw that guy saying, oh, you know, let's go the apocalyptic way where life is, you know, just going to financially collapse and all earthquakes and volcanoes. And like I said, he's been doing it a long time and he has a lot of trust in people, and I'm not saying it's wrong, but I don't, you know, give me some positive with the negative, you know. Tell me how to, you know, work through this time. And you know, it's great to know there could be a volcano come, you know, July 12th through the 14th, and, you know, hold your hat on and stuff. But, you know, tell me how to work through this as a person, as a human, as a soul. And so I really needed to do the cards, and and this is what I see, you know. If you see something different, tell me what you think. And, you know, anyone out there that's doing tarot astrology, what are you getting from yourself and from my reading? But I just found it really interesting because 6 planets in retrograde is a seriously rare thing. And then a lot in Capricorn. And Capricorn is business. Capricorn is home. So, you know, that's that. And it's life. But you want to enjoy life. But you have to have balance. You have to have patience. And in that balance, you will find blessings. So, you know, one step at a time. I just kind of wanted to share it. I just was really perplexed, and I kind of feel better that, you know, it wasn't all doom and gloom. And, you know, we're always working on ourselves, and we're always trying to stay balanced, and we're all coming out of this trying to find the good in life. And And I think we just need to keep working on that.